baseball. ESPN reports that Texas is hiring Texas A&M coach Jim Schlossnagle take over the prestigious program. Schlossnagle led the Aggies to their first national championship series this year. He went 135-62 in his 3 seasons with the team. The Longhorns parted ways with David Pierce on Monday. Schlossnagle becomes just the 7th baseball coach in the history of the Texas program since 1911. That's close.
I felt really bad for our Facebook Live listeners because they just sit there in silence.
They can't hear that.
They can't hear the intro. But as we can hear it with our headsets on at the radio show, and then it's being broadcasted throughout Southern Utah.
I tried to plug into their system for a long time, but it just kept, I could never figure it out.
Yeah. That part is still working.
Well, right. The technology between computers and like what they have like technology to like input into them is limited for whatever reason.
I've never been able to figure it out to make it work perfectly.
That's okay. Because every time we adapt, we go through this change process.
Yeah.
And every time we think that there's consistent measures, something changes. And it's really incredible, like in life in general, right? That as we expect consistency, the only consistent thing is change.
Here's what I still, and I don't understand it myself either. Knowing that change is actually probably the best thing in life.
Oh, that's a whole nother level.
Still fight.
We fight it
emotionally, mentally, physically against change.
I will not change. I don't want to change. I don't want my kids to change. I don't want my spouse to change. I don't want the world to change. But really, the only thing that we can truly depend on is change and growth or reduction or always moving things, right? Which kind of brings us into what we really want to talk about today too.
So I'm still trying to figure out how you're going to connect this.
Insurance companies are changing.
Okay. But I'm going to try to figure out, I'm still trying to figure out how you're going to pull it all together.
Okay.
And talk about consistency of change.
Okay.
And what that has to do with insurance.
Okay, so every year insurance premiums change. Every year. Every month.
They always go up.
They always go up. Every complaint that I've ever heard. My insurance premium's too much. It always goes up. I never use my insurance. Why don't the insurance companies have millions of dollars just for my house? Why? I need. I want. And it's incredible because because over the last 100 years of insurance companies, 100 years of insurance companies, okay?
Yeah.
Costs have always increased for consumers. Houses have increased for consumers.
Yep.
Okay. The cost of putting a house together for a consumer, right? I mean, back in the 1920s, it was like $2,000.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
Let's talk about that. And we had to still do it ourselves. And there was no indoor plumbing.
I think it was like $10,000 for a house.
Right. And there was no indoor plumbing 100 years ago. Let's just be real, guys. Here, the houses here didn't have indoor plumbing.
I wonder if they went through the difficulty of change when it happened. Having to go from the outhouse to in the house.
Right. Not in metro areas, not in rural areas. There are still houses.
They still don't have.
Well, that's a whole nother thing.
Still is the bushes.
That's a whole nother deal. Okay. But what we're talking about today is everybody's mixed, very high volatility of emotion with insurance companies in general. Because what's happened in the last couple of weeks, I've gotten numerous phone calls of my insurance company is leaving the state of Utah. What do I do?
which actually surprises me. I cannot believe, because it's such a conservative state.
Agreed.
I'm like, what do you mean they're leaving Utah? We don't have massive storms to speak of. We don't have like the huge wildfires that California does. We don't have massive regulations to deal with.
Mm-mm.
So I was actually shocked that that's happening here in Utah too. I know it's happening in Florida and California and even where I just bought a house in Oklahoma, that's happening because of all the tornadoes.
Right.
So, but I had no idea that it was happening.
So, and as of 2022, Utah had it says 2,038 licensed and domestic insurers and 419 captive insurance companies.
Okay.
Okay.
In Utah.
In Utah specifically. So of that, few of them are leaving, guys. Like, it is what it happens. Like, change is consistent with that. But what's really like, and this is where we need to bring it back to, the change is inherent in every day.
And I'm gonna say something that, and change, a lot of times change happens out of our own neglect or irresponsibility.
100%.
So, and what I mean by that is we were talking earlier about people taking advantage of
Insurance companies.
insurance companies, governments, whatever, the big guy, right?
Yep.
They've got plenty of money. And if you don't believe that's true, go to a contractor and say, hey, I need to get a bid, and it's for the insurance company. And get that bid. And then get a different bid that's not for the insurance company.
And there's a huge
There's
disparity.
a huge gap.
Not just like 10%, guys. I'm not talking like a 10% disparity. That's like a profit margin, okay? I'm talking like a 30 to 40, 50 to 75% difference between when it gets turned into an insurance claim versus when people just need it done out of principle.
Right.
Huge disparity.
And so, and I know that's true because I've seen it, I've heard it. I've had the conversation. Oh yeah, this is for insurance. Yeah, we need to change that bit. Why?
Right.
So, but the problem with that is it always comes back and hurts the consumer. In either higher premiums and or getting the phone call or the letter saying, okay, by the way, you're canceled.
Right.
We're leaving the state.
Or major companies have to leave the state because of claim frequency or the ability to pay their claims and remain financially solvent.
Right.
Right. So let's.
I want you to go through your.
I will.
Your roof thing because it blew my mind.
So for all of you who are listening in a safe capacity, not driving in a vehicle, sitting at a desk or sitting somewhere, grab your calculator. Okay. What I want to do is Iron County proper, or excuse me, not Iron County, Cedar City proper is about 25,000 people. Okay. So put it into your calculator, 25,000. Okay. And now the average home premium for insurance, I'm going to say, is a rough $1,000 down, plus or minus. There's going to be anomalies. Okay. If you do know your home premium, then you can calculate it out if you'd like to, but I'm going to say it's $1,000. So 25,000 times $1,000 is $25 million.
Yeah.
Okay. Of annual premium that our city pays in homeowners insurance specifically. Okay. Again, rough estimates. We're just having fun with numbers really quick.
Okay.
Now, according to Google, and I just measured my own roof. Okay. I measured my own roof at 2,900 square
Probably
feet.
pretty average for Cedar City.
It's not very complicated. It has a slight pitch. It's called a gable, right? And then according to a website that I just found called BillReaganRoofing.com, he actually walks through how to measure out of the house and how to calculate it out. Okay. So you do length times width of your house, or finding the square footage.
Mm-hmm.
And then the roof area is multiplied by 5.86. Okay.
Okay. And that'll account for your pitches and everything.
And this is just regular shingles, guys, like not super fancy. That roof costs $13,000. Okay. So then going back a few years, we had we had catastrophic loss in hail damage, my company paid about 40 houses worth of roofs.
Okay.
Okay. So then take 13,000 times 40,000,
I'm s-
40 houses,
40.
right? In just that one event, there was
in that one storm,
in that one storm, there was on my company specifically, right?
520,000.
520,000. Okay.
Okay.
So then going back to the overarching picture,
Mhm.
okay, that doesn't include every other company in town.
That doesn't include every other claim.
That doesn't include every other claim. Whether you're turning in a claim for a water heater burst
Mhm.
or pipe damage or sheetrock or roof collapse or any of these different things.
Right.
Right? House fires, kitchen fires,
Yep.
kennel fires, right?
Okay.
So you normalize this where 25 million doesn't last as long as you think it should. Right?
Okay, yeah, especially in years where you have more
A higher loss ratio.
more weather, more, yeah.
Right. So then you go into the different things of people still have to get paid because we all have widgets and we all have companies and we all make money.
Right.
Right? That's how we contribute to our household specifically, and that's how we create economic activity. Right? But if you think that your $1,000 is so expensive, but then you got a $13,000 roof, right? That's 13 years worth of premium that you've paid, that the company paid for you out of principle of having insurance.
I can jump in here, and I'm not trying to be. I mean, your math is right, but it seems to me that insurance companies don't just sit with that money in some account somewhere saying, "Oh, we just have." They're making investments that come in.
I'm not saying they're not a profitable
Right,
company.
right. They're just saying that they're making investments so that that money is growing.
Right.
Is it? And I'm asking for curiosity.
I would assume so.
I can't see how they can do it without doing that.
Well, I'm assuming so because they have the reserves and the requirements in the reserves. Whatever the reserves are doing and growing interest in things is none of my damn business.
Right.
Right.
It
But
would make sense.
it would make sense. But again, that goes back into profitability. So if you have a 50 to 50 loss ratio in a year, meaning
Oh, no, that's all.
50, right, and then you go through,
That insurance companies' income stream isn't strictly the premiums we pay. They have other sources. They have other streams.
right, but our primary income stream is premium,
Oh, no, yeah.
right? And 99% of the time, it is not a one-to-one match with what your house is actually valued at, or your roof is actually valued at, or the replacement and the damages that were caused. You're not paying. So what I'm saying is if I pay $1,000 in premium this year and I have a roof claim, my premiums don't go up to make sure that I'm paying for that roof claim specifically.
Right.
Did it,
Okay, that makes sense. It'll
did
go up, but
did it
won't.
increase out of principle of general cost increase? Probably. Now, did I have 2 or 3 house claims 2 or 3 years in a row and I'm going into claim frequency? Right now I'm using and abusing insurance out of principle because, oh, I'm only having to come up with $1,000 deductible or a
Right.
$1,500 deductible or whatever it is.
Mhm.
And I'm getting 10, 20, 30, $80,000 from the insurance company year over year over year because I'm not taking care of my house. I'm not inspecting my plumbing. I'm not putting a roof on when I should because that's the insurance company's job. Said no one ever.
So you're saying that they wait until something happens.
Right. They're waiting, they're prolonging it. And so then it goes into the neglect statement. 9 times out of 10, the change that we are fearing the most is because we are neglecting the upfront homework. Right. And then because we've neglected the homework, the test is now here. And we are in a fight or flight stand of, do I use insurance? Do I not use insurance? I didn't prepare for this adequately, so I have to use insurance. And now I'm going to hate the insurance company because they're going to charge me a little bit more. A little bit more.
Right.
In the tenure that I've been in insurance, I've never in my entire career, seen a one-to-one match on what an insurance claim was paid out and what we then charged in premium. Did it go up slightly because we needed to it? Yes. But I've never seen a $50,000 claim get recouped in even a 10-year increase,
Yeah, that's a good point.
right? But everybody,
Insurance is one of those things that we love to hate until we actually need it.
and I am lumped in. Insurance companies are lumped into the guaranteed three:
What's the guaranteed three?
death, taxes,
Insurance.
and insurance,
That's true.
right? Now, and a quick plug for life insurance, right? I can get rid of taxes with life insurance, by the way. You can use life insurance premiums to pay the taxes.
And I want to
Insurance
give
is
you a plug because
free.
you don't just sell life insurance. You have an appointment today
For my own
for your
spouse,
own
getting
insurance,
more life
life
insurance.
insurance. So
So
he's just not just selling it. She's buying
no,
it too.
hey, but that's the thing. I am a passionate consumer and I dive deep into everything that I purchase. Insurance is one of those things that the state of the market says there has to be change. There has to be big change. People are entering and exiting markets, entering and exiting states. There's different producers and different companies that have different access to all of the companies. It's shifting entirely. We're going through that 20 and 30-year shift of what it's supposed to look like. Most companies, sorry, one more.
Go ahead.
Most companies are going into a catastrophic type deductible planning system, meaning it has to be above $5,000 to $10,000
To be covered.
to be covered because of all the infrequent low. I didn't maintain my house or my investment property properly, and I'm turning in a $2,000 or $3,000 claim. Insurance companies are going back and saying, well, that's poor planning. That's not our fault.
Right.
So we're going to move deductible.
And so this circles all the way back to, like, I want to go back and read this book, but massive accountability. Am I being accountable for my own life, for my own stuff? And am I really looking at stuff in a way that says, okay, what could I have done differently to cause this?
Right.
Or to not cause it?
Well, and that's the thing, like the controllables and uncontrollables. And we talk about a lot of mindset stuff on this show, specifically with Jesse Paul from the Larkin Group, KW Realty. But today because of all the phone calls I've been getting about people exiting the state of Utah markets,
I can't believe that.
They're still in a kerfuffle of what's happening. And I'm like, the whole market is shifting. Just like people enter and exit.
So let me ask you this. Are those companies leaving Utah or are they leaving the business?
They're just leaving Utah. They're renegotiating where their risks are more appropriately invested to make sure that they can remain solvent.
So this goes back to Tim's argument, right? Well, yeah, but they're making money other places. But if it was actually profitable,
Not necessarily the argument, it's just
question.
Right.
But if they were actually profitable,
well,
they would stay.
okay.
So,
Let's go ahead and step our foot into this. I don't know if you've heard the big debate about First, Second, North, and Main.
so that Maverick is coming in,
And they want Maverick there.
it's already done. The contracts are already in. Okay.
And people saying, well, we need to save the system. Look, I got no knocking at Sister, why would like to go eat there, right? But the folks at that restaurant have said, well, we're probably just going to shut down. You know how you save the Sizzler?
Go eat.
Go eat there. Exactly right.
Right.
To them that they'll be profitable. They go, oh, okay, we'll hang around.
Right. But in and of itself,
So what probably
Mutual is
happened
there.
is that land came up for sale and somebody else bought it.
Just made a big offer, and I would have done it. Look, if to my house, it says, hey, we want to offer you $1 million so we can put the swimming pool here. Done.
right. But then we go into a much bigger debate with the real estate transitions that have been happening, specifically to Iron County, all the farmland's going away. And did you know that farmers feed America and farmers clothe America? Do you want to live in a world without clothing and food?
Yeah.
Right.
And,
But-
and I have enough faith in the market that it will always find a way to and give us food and clothes. I have that much faith.
Agreed. But all I'm saying is the entire debate of that deal was probably done and negotiated more than 2 years ago.
It doesn't surprise me.
So anyways, but like change, going back to this overarching thing, change is inevitable.
so good though. We'll actually go to Maverick for convenience before we go sit down and have a good dinner.
Oh man, and the twins do such a good job. Like Sizzler has never disappointed my family. And a quick plug for them, like literally
Yeah.
never disappointed my family. They always have great ice cream. And sometimes when there's a specific cook there, I get mushrooms. And I'm so excited. I love sauteed mushrooms.
But the point is that, which I would be all in on, show them that they'll make a profit by going to eat there.
Right.
It's just that.
And or figure out how to create investors who want to house more restaurants, right? More sit down restaurants. But then you go back into actually getting families to sit down with each other and like each other and create this simple life of no technology and that relationships are everything, because that's how my family is. I want and I need,
Sitting on Facebook.
well, we're on social media out of
With our phone,
with our phone.
with our,
That's it, you're on Facebook out of what?
Making sure that more people hear the most information possible.
Okay, but you don't need Facebook to do that. You got this radio station on.
No, I love the radio station. However,
There are other places you can go see. That's where you're gonna give me problems.
here we go.
You don't have to live on the world of social media.
agreed,
That's true.
completely agreed. It is a convenience item for my business.
Bingo.
However, one could argue
So
that
don't
radio
rail
is.
against technology.
I'm not railing
Oh
against
man,
it.
here we
You're
go.
like the folks that say, I was my candidate and I'm not gonna vote for the other guy. And I
No.
don't have a choice with someone else.
No, I am asking simply for families to sit down to a simple dinner
Oh man, here we
and
go.
put phones away for dinner specifically at the Sizzler on the corner of 200 and Main in Cedar City, Utah, because it is a classy place to go.
There you
That's
go.
all I was saying. Thank you so much for joining us for Wired Wednesday. This has been your host, McKinnon Hansen with Farm Bureau Financial Services at 435-592-2021, serving real estate needs with the Larkin Group at KW Realty at gocedarcity.com. Thank you so much for joining us for Wired Wednesday. If you like our show, make sure and comment on Facebook
Of course.
or give the station a call and harass Tim.
Thanks for having us, guys.
Thanks.
I love those people that rail against technology on social media. I go, okay, you're part of the problem then. All right, one last chance. Let's get a check of what's happening in the traffic situation. Captain Craig, what do you see it out there?
Don't answer Nate's question on Facebook.
Okay, but you gotta end the live stream. Oh.